and welcome to another vlog. Today is my civil law exam. Just had breakfast. I'm heading over down into town where I've got my exam because I am typing it today. How am I feeling? Slightly nervous. I think that's probably an understatement, but I'm sure if I work through it and just sort of do my best, I'm sure it'll go fine. But yes, so I head down now for my civil exam and wish me luck. So I'm back from my first exam. I think it went alright. It's always difficult to say how the exam's going. I never like to dwell on it too much. That exam is over, but I think it was alright. I was able to answer, 4 questions. I was able to put some good points down. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get a good result for that paper. Before I get on with some constitutional law revision this afternoon, I first of all need to go and cast my vote for the European elections. I just go over across the street for that, and then probably have something for lunch as well. Just been getting on with some revision outside for constitutional law, going through parliamentary sovereignty and EU membership. Just been to shops to get a few things in, probably have something for dinner and then head to the library and get on with as much revision for constitutional law that I can do, but also taking breaks as well. I have just been spending the rest of the day doing constitutional law revision, just making sure I'm all prepared for the exam tomorrow, just going through the cases and the articles, things like that. I've done as much as I can. I'll maybe have a quick look at things tomorrow morning, but I've got my exam at 9 o'clock like it was for civil law. So I've got my constitutional law exam today. I'm feeling alright for it, a little bit nervous, but I have enjoyed constitutional law when I've been studying it and going through it for my revision, so hopefully it'll go well. I'm going to have some breakfast and then head down for my exam, so wish me luck. So 2 exams down, 2 more to go. Those will be next week. The constitutional law exam I think went quite well, so the questions, there was a good choice of questions. I did 3 essay questions and then there was a scenario question based on judicial review. Then went to Wetherspoons and just had something for lunch, and some friends actually came in as well, so I just talked to them for a little bit, so that was nice. Probably get on with just putting some notes together and some flashcards together for my criminal law and tort law exam next week. I think I'll probably do that outside. First of all, I did just a little bit of making some flashcards outside, then had something for dinner, just had the usual fish and chips, that's on a Friday, and then afterwards just headed to the library and got on with some more revision, just making some flashcards. Not as much revision as, for example, yesterday. I just thought it would take a little, just not do as much, but just to relax for a little bit. From having just obviously done 2 exams this week. But the flashcards are getting there, and obviously I'll be going through criminal law and tort law up until those exams. Probably go to bed soon, it's getting late, and I'll probably see you in the morning. I think the plan today probably is just begin on with some revision for criminal law and for tort law, given that I've got those exams next week. So I think what I'm probably going to do is just head over to the library and just go through my flashcards, go through the articles, go through my notes and just get familiar with both the content and the analysis for both criminal law and for tort law. So this morning I got on with some revision for criminal law. I went through topics such as mens rea, as well as non-fatal offences and consent in relation to non-fatal offences. I then had lunch and then afterwards just did some revision for tort law, going through trespass to the person and duty of care. Just been to the shops as well to get a few things in. So for example, I need to get some bread buns in because I was low on them. Probably going to go and have dinner now and get on with some revision afterwards. But of course there is something that I need to do as well. There might be revision to do, but there is still the laundry segment to do. I've got my laundry there, as you can see. Probably just put that on now and have dinner in the meantime, and then collect that once the cycle's done, and afterwards, like I said, get on with some more revision in the library. After having dinner, I just got on with some more revision for criminal law and for tort law, mainly just using my online flashcards to help me remember some of the key points from the academic articles to use for the essay questions. Back in my room, as you can see, I need to edit a video that will be out by the time you see this one, and I'm probably going to actually go to the buttery and play Mario Kart with one of my friends, which would be nice for a little bit. But then of course I must get to sleep afterwards, because with it being Sunday there'll hopefully be brunch later on. Beforehand I'll probably just get on with some criminal law revision in the library and just do obviously what I can for the criminal law exam that is next week. Brunch was delicious as always, and I've just been mainly getting on with criminal law revision so far today. Just going through topics such as the law of attempts and the law of conspiracy. I'm just taking a break. I'm probably actually going to read a bit of my book. I'm reading this one called The Couple Next Door, which is interesting. And I'll probably just go and just read that in the buttery for a little bit, just to take a break, and then probably get on with some tort revision afterwards. So for the rest of the day I've just been getting on with revision for tort law, just going through topics relating to the law of negligence, so things like recovery for psychiatric harm and liability for omissions. I'm back in my room, as you can see, probably going to go to bed now. I'll probably just be getting on with revision for criminal law and for tort law today, given those exams are coming up soon. But I'm probably going to go to the buttery and get some breakfast first, and then as I head over to the library and get on with some revision. I've just stopped for a break to have some lunch. I've been getting on with some criminal law revision, going through defences. Probably going to continue with that this afternoon, maybe have a look at some academic literature and get familiar with the key points from that, so I can use those in essay questions. And then probably later on this afternoon get on with some tort law revision as well. I've just been spending the rest of the day doing revision for the tort law exam, going through topics like causation and remoteness in relation to negligence. Probably go to bed now because obviously I've got quite a bit of revision I need to do tomorrow, especially for the criminal law exam. This time tomorrow I'll be getting ready to do my criminal law exam, so I'll probably be mainly today focusing on criminal law and just going through as much as I can, as well as of course taking breaks. Probably do a little bit of tort law at some point as well, but like I said, mainly focusing on criminal law. I think first of all I'll go to the buttery and get something for breakfast, and then maybe use one of the study rooms to revise criminal law. So this morning I've just been mainly getting on with criminal law revision, just going through the various topics using my flashcards. I'm just taking a break at the moment to read my book and maybe get a drink as well, and then probably just get on with maybe a bit of tort revision and obviously some more criminal law revision afterwards. In the end, I didn't really do anything in terms of tort revision, And the reason for that was that I just decided to focus on criminal law revision, especially given that the exam is tomorrow, and there was a lot to go through, a lot of cases just to test myself upon, and just going through the articles and the points from them again. So that's what I've just pretty much been doing for the most of today, really. So I've got my criminal law exam this morning, just heading into town for that. I'm alright for it. I feel alright for it. I've gone through as much as I can. Just hopefully the questions will be good and I'll be able to answer them all in the allotted time. So yeah, I'm heading over to my exam and wish me luck. I've just come back from having done my criminal law exam. I think it went well. Like I said, it's always difficult to say, but we have to answer 2 essay questions and 2 scenario questions for the criminal law paper, and both the essay questions that I chose and both the scenario questions that I chose were quite good. Just bought something from the buttery for lunch, probably have that, and then probably this afternoon just be getting on revising for the tort law exam, which will be the final exam. So I've just taken a break for the time being, just have something for dinner. Just been going through my flashcards and getting them sorted to revise the various topics for tort law. That exam is on Friday. I'm probably going to head back to the library now, but there is something I need to do. Here we are again with the Law Snapshot segment. For those who've watched my videos, you know that one of the topics that we looked at was murder. Now there are 2 special partial defences to murder. What I mean by partial is that rather than the defendant being acquitted, if they are successfully able to raise the defence, then they are charged and convicted on the basis of voluntary manslaughter. And there are, like I said, 2. So there's diminished responsibility and loss of self-control. Now these are, in their current form, relatively new. They came in the Commoners and Justice Act of 2009. So the first one is diminished responsibility. Diminished responsibility, the idea behind this is that there needs to be an abnormality of mental function, and this needs to be caused by a recognised medical condition. The abnormality of mental function then has to substantially impair either the defendant's ability to form rational judgment, to understand the nature of the conduct, or to exercise self-control. And then finally, that abnormality of mental function must provide an explanation for why the defendant acted in the way they did, or performed an omission in the way they did. And it provides an explanation. The legislation tells us that it provides an explanation if it is a cause or is a significant contributory factor in the defendant's conduct. Quite technical, but the legislation sets it out in section 52 of the Commoners and Justice Act 2009. The other one is loss of self-control. Now this is actually new. Beforehand, there was the defence of provocation at common law. That has since been abolished by the Kieron Spoors and I Act 2009, and it's been replaced by loss of self-control. And there are essentially 3 parts to it. So first of all, the defendant's act or omission has to result from a loss of self-control. So, for example, if someone is insulting you and they continue to insult you, and out of anger you pick up a steel rod and you hit them over the head and they die, that could be seen as you could argue that you should be allowed the defence because you've lost control, and that's why you attacked the victim, and that's why as a result they've died. So that's to be a loss of self-control. And the legislation tells us under section 54 of the Act that it doesn't have to be sudden, but that it might not apply, it won't apply if your conduct is seen as a considered desire for revenge. So if you set out to do it, if you plan to do it. The second thing is that you need a qualifying trigger, and these are under section 55 of the Act. It can either be a fear of serious violence from the victim against you or another identified person, or it can be from thing or things done or said which constitute circumstances of an extremely grave character and give the defendant a justifiable sense of being seriously wronged. Quite long and quite a high threshold for that particular qualifying trigger. Thing of things is what I just mentioned there. So if I insult you, that is something that has been said. I could graffiti your house, I could
destroy your furniture, that will be things done. And as I said, it's quite a high threshold. You can tell by the words like extremely grave. And the final part is an objective standard. This is whether or not a normal person of the defendant's age and sex with a normal degree of tolerance and self-restraint and in the circumstances of the defendant would have reacted in the same or similar way. So there's that kind of question that's put and that needs to be determined. And there are in the legislation, it does allow for circumstances to be considered only if they are relevant beyond just affecting tolerance and self-restraint. If they're only affecting the defendant's tolerance and self-restraint, then they are to be excluded. So those are the two partial defences. Quite technical and complex, but it's all set out there, and obviously we've had recent cases to help us explain some of those ideas. But that's just an overview. There are other sections that I haven't referred to. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, comment in the comment section below if you've got any ideas, and I look forward to seeing you in the next segment.
I've just come back from the library, having done some revision just for the tort law exam on Friday. Probably going to go to bed now, and with that comes the end of another vlog. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have, don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to comment in the comment section below if you've got any questions or any comments or anything like that. Don't forget to share the video, let other people know about it. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Don't forget also to hit the notification bell to keep up to date. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And you can check out my previous vlog by clicking here. And I hope to see you all in the next video.